जन्मानेकशतैः सदादरयुजा भक्त्या समाराधितो भक्तैर्वैदिकलक्षणेन विधिना सन्तुष्टैष स्वयं साक्षात् श्री गुरुरूपमेत्य कृपया दृग्गोचरः सन् प्रभुः तत्त्वं साधु विबोध्य तारयति तान् संसार दुःखार्णवात् तत्त्वं साधु विबोध्य तारयति तान् संसार दुःखार्णवात् सर्वव्यापकमद्वितीयमजरं वेदान्तविज्ञापितं द्वन्द्वाभासविवर्जितं भवहरं शान्तिप्रदं देहिनां कर्मविकर्महीनममलं त्रैगुण्यविच्छेदकं ध्यायेत् ब्रह्म सदा प्रशान्तमनसा भक्त्या च सश्रद्धया ध्यायेत् ब्रह्म सदा प्रशान्तमनसा भक्त्या च सश्रद्धया। हरि शांति पाठ। ओम आप्यायन्तु ममांगानि
ओम आप्यायन्तु ममांगानि
वाक् प्राणश्चक्षुश्रोत्रमथो
वाक्प्राणश्चक्षुश्रोत्रमथो
बलमिन्द्रियाणि च सर्वाणि
बलमिन्द्रियाणि च सर्वाणि
सर्वं ब्रह्मोपनिषदम्
सर्वं ब्रह्मोपनिषदम्
माहं ब्रह्म निराकुर्याम्
माहं ब्रह्म निराकुर्याम्
मा ब्रह्म निराकरोद निराकरणमस्तु
मा ब्रह्म निराकरोद निराकरणमस्तु
अनिराकरणं मेस्तु
अनिराकरणं मेस्तु
तदात्मनि निरतेय उपनिषत्सु
तदात्मनि निरतेय उपनिषत्सु
धर्मास्ते मयि सन्तु ते मयि सन्तु
धर्मास्ते मयि सन्तु ते मयि सन्तु।
ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः।
ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः।
केनेषितं पतति प्रेषितं मनः
केनेषितं पतति प्रेषितं मनः
केन प्राणः प्रथमः प्रैतियुक्तः
केन प्राणप्रथमः प्रैतियुक्तः
केनेषितां वाचमिमां वदन्ति
केनेषितां वाचमिमां वदन्ति
चक्षुश्रोत्रं कौ देवो युनक्ति
चक्षुश्रोत्रं कौ देवो युनक्ति
श्रोत्रस्य श्रोत्रं मनसो मनो यद्
श्रोत्रस्य श्रोत्रं मनसो मनो यद्
वाचोह वाचं सौ प्राणस्य प्राणः
वाचोह वाचं सौ प्राणस्य प्राणः
चक्षुषश्चक्षुरतिमुच्य धीराः
चक्षुषश्चक्षुरतिमुच्य धीराः
प्रेत्यास्माल्लोकादमृता भवन्ति
प्रेत्यास्माल्लोकादमृता भवन्ति
न तत्र चक्षुर्गच्छति न तत्र चक्षुर्गच्छति न वाग्गच्छति नो मनः
न तत्र चक्षुर्गच्छति न वाग्गच्छति नो मनः
न तत्र चक्षुर्गच्छति
न तत्र चक्षुर्गच्छति
न वाग्गच्छति नो मनः
न वाग्गच्छति नो मनः
न विद्मो न विजानीमो
न विद्मो न विजानीमो
यथैतदनुशिष्यात्
यथैतदनुशिष्यात्
अन्यदेव तद्विदितादथो
अन्यदेव तद्विदितादथो
अविदितादधि
अविदितादधि
इति शुश्रुमपूर्वेषाम्
इति शुश्रुमपूर्वेषाम्
येनस्तद्व्याचचक्षिरे
येनस्तद्व्याचचक्षिरे
यद्वाचानभ्युदितम्
यद्वाचानभ्युदितम्
येन वागभ्युद्यते
येन वागभ्युद्यते
तदेव ब्रह्मत्वं विद्धि
तदेव ब्रह्मत्वं विद्धि
नेदं यदिदमुपासते
नेदं यदिदमुपासते
यन्मनसा न मनुते
यन्मनसा न मनुते
येनाहुर्मनोमतम्
येनाहुर्मनोमतम्
तदेव ब्रह्मत्वं विद्धि
तदेव ब्रह्मत्वं विद्धि
नेदं यदिदमुपासते
नेदं यदिदमुपासते
यच्चक्षुषा न पश्यति
यच्चक्षुषा न पश्यति
येन चक्षुंषि पश्यति
येन चक्षुंषि पश्यति
तदेव ब्रह्मत्वं विद्धि
तदेव ब्रह्मत्वं विद्धि
नेदं यदिदमुपासते
नेदं यदिदमुपासते
यच्छ्रोत्रेण न शृणोति
यच्छ्रोत्रेण न शृणोति
येन श्रोत्रमिदं श्रुतम्
येन श्रोत्रमिदं श्रुतम्
तदेव ब्रह्मत्वं विद्धि
तदेव ब्रह्मत्वं विद्धि
नेदं यदिदमुपासते
नेदं यदिदमुपासते
यत्प्राणेन न प्राणिति
यत्प्राणेन न प्राणिति
येन प्राणः प्रणीयते
येन प्राणः प्रणीयते
तदेव ब्रह्मत्वं विद्धि
तदेव ब्रह्मत्वं विद्धि
नेदं यदिदमुपासते
नेदं यदिदमुपासते.
So this is the first chapter. Now if we have an overview of the first chapter, a few important points what has been dealt with, we can just summarize. We have done all the anvayas, no? Because after that it is all the same. The second lines are all same I have done. Same. What they are trying to say, the first point is that they are trying to bring to our focus a higher, subtler reality. A higher, subtler reality working as the source behind all the function of the mind, senses, and life forces. A higher, subtler, we can add one more, I was not adding, it will be added later. Higher, subtler, non-objective. This is extremely important because that is the one correction constantly Upanishad is giving. Because our tendency right from the beginning is to look for an object. I told you earlier also that is called bhoga pravritti. That we think that to enjoy we need something else than me. If I am fulfilled, then I don't need any second. Is it not? If I am fulfilled, I will not look for anything else for bhoga. I may interact with the circumstances as everything in the universe is doing. I will also do whatever is natural to the body, mind, personality under a given circumstances. We will not look for anything. That always looking for something, this attention being outside, because we are looking for enjoyment outside. So it is called bhoga pravritti. That gives us a general tendency that for everything we look in an objective manner. It is objective means it might be subtle, it might be gross, but it is different from me. That point is very important. Atma se भिन्न. हम हमेशा आत्मा से भिन्न कुछ ढूंढ रहे हैं. वही है पूरा जीवन में, वही है एक समस्या. हम नहीं जानते हैं कि हमारी पूरी संतुष्टि अपने में ही है. I don't know, we don't know that the whole fulfillment, the whole peace, everything is within us. So we look for something else, and we don't apply our intelligence also, that nobody has ever got fulfilled by anything getting from outside, but we still go on looking for something else. So the Upanishads only will tell us. Upanishads need not tell us about which chappal to be purchased, it should not be bigger than the feet, or which food to be taken which will not cause any diarrhea or so. Upanishads will not speak about those. Upanishads will speak about something which we will not naturally know. They will try to point out that. So Upanishads only will speak about only one thing, that is not, which is beyond all the objectude. So here it is right from the beginning, it is pointing out to that higher reality which is the source of all our actions of the mind, senses, and life forces. This is the first point that time. Now, compelled by the natural tendency of our mind, we consider these functions or the functional indriyas associated with ourself, and correspondingly the aggregate of the function, the ego, we by mistake we consider it to be ourself. Is it not so? Our small I, which we are always interacting with, that is the egoistic I, which is absolutely a posited I, which is not the real identity. It is the body, mind, personality with its hub of the personality, it is functioning in the world. But because of our identification with this parts of the body as well as the body, we are mistaking this ego as the I. So they are trying to, this is the fundamental mistake we make. So they are trying to introduce discrimination so that we can dissociate these functional aspects from the real I, so that we can discover the real I. We can get established in our real I. So we should remember that the fundamental delusion or trouble we have is to considering the instrument to be the real self. The body-mind instrument, the ego instrument to be the real self. So we have to dissociate. That is everywhere. Even Ashtavakra said, Yadi deham prithakritya. It is not that you are going out of deham prithakritya, people will take poison and give the deha separately. Like Bhagavad Gita, that it is written that, what is that? जो दिन में सोता है और रात में सोता है, तो वो एक बेल्ट, रफ बेल्ट लगा के रहता है कि रात को जैसे नींद ना आए और दिन में सो जाता है. So it is like that. या निशा सर्वभूतानां तस्याम जागृति संयमी यस्याम जागृति भूतानि सा निशा पश्यतो मुने. That means actually the meaning is the whole world is awake to the gross objects, the objective world, the objectude, all fragmented. This I like, that I don't like. वो हमारे शत्रु है, वो हमारे मित्र है. हमेशा इसमें ही लगे हुए हैं. We are always engrossed in this. Whereas a jnani is almost sleeping to that. Everything he is interacting with, but this worldliness does not touch them at all. Whereas they remain awake to their identity, the spirit, the Atma, and they always delight in the Atma. That is why the world doesn't trouble them. They are always Atmaratihi. They don't have the Vishayarati. So they are always Atmaratihi. So they don't get bothered by anything. So they are awake to the Atma, which others are not seeing. So Atma is Ratri for others and day for him. Whereas this worldly attraction and repulsion and the raga dvesha is the day for the others and ratri for him. That is the meaning. It has, this sloka also has great meaning in this context. Now that was the second point. You can remember that Paranchi Khani there of Kenopanishad. Why we are saying compelled by the nature of our mind? Because Brahma has created, the creator has created us like this. Our Indriya is always outgoing. So naturally we always look outward. Nobody looks inside to see who am I, who is getting involved in all these things. The third point is, they are pointing out that this self, which is the source or substratum of all the functions our body, our personality is executing, that self is the Brahman, the substratum of the entire universe, the substratum of the world. The fourth point is, three I have said. Now, fourth point is very important. There they are pointing out that, which I said in the beginning, that this truth cannot be found in the objectude. So it is not within the ken of the mind. The mind cannot reach it because the mind always tries to look at objectivizing thing. Even when somebody is doing meditation for discovering the self, the real who am I, we are trying to always find out something, that the I. As the I, we want to locate something. But the I, by that process, what is happening? We are objectivizing the I. Is it not? I, which is the subject. If you want to see that I as different from yourself, what will you do? That will be produced as an object before you, then only you will say that this is the I. But that is not the I. That which is seeing, that is the I. So it cannot be different from oneself. Is there any trouble in thinking that? So the mind will never be able to know it as it is knowing the objective world, because it is not within the objectude. It cannot be known as different from itself at all. Moreover, it is the self of the mind also. It is the self of everything. If it is not the self, then perhaps you would have seen it as different. But because it is the self, it can be only revealed by the self. The revealer itself will have to reveal it. That is why they are saying that any word expertise it cannot reveal. What is that shloka? Kenopanishad. Na medhayana bahuna shrutena. Nayamatma pravachanena labhyo na medhayana bahuna shrutena yameva isha vrinute tena labhya tasyaisha atma vivrinute tanum swam. This Atma cannot be had by pravachana. Pravachana means prakrishta vachana. That means you go on analyzing everything. If you go on analyzing, you will not be able to have the Atma by that. Although it will make your mind prepared, but you cannot think that through argument and through analysis you will discover. As in scientific analysis, we try to discover the truth there, because it is objective truth that becomes successful. But because it is about our subject, however much you may analyze with the objectude, you cannot discover it. Na medhayana bahuna shrutena. Not by great talent, buddhi, expertise of buddhi, or if you have listened to many knowers, great saints and all. Bahuna shrutena means you have listened to enough of shastras. I have often told about the sannyasin who came here, who had said that 50 years have passed, he had taken up sannyasa, but he was there wherever he was 50 years back, is what his humble statement. But the fact is that he said that we asked him that Swamiji, why do you say like this? He said that I have done Sangha with the greatest saints. Some of them we have heard of, we know also. But I have not been able to attain. When he said that, where I am still standing at the same place where I was when I took up sannyasa 50 years ago. That is the statement he made. But actually that is a humble statement only. What he wanted to mean is that I have not succeeded in the sadhana. So we asked him, can you tell us why you did not succeed? He said, I did not have the intensity of inquiry. Although at 22 years old, 20 years or 22 years, he has taken up sannyasa. So he has got, and he was a very austere sannyasin, staying with a very good ashram, everything. So all austerity, everything, learning, all the Upanishads he has studied, everything he has done under very great people also. But that all that he must have done with lot of craving for Shastra reading or doing this, doing that, or sannyasa, he might have had some craving that I will become a paribrajaka sannyasin. So he did not look for discovering what the purpose of all this, purpose of the Vedas, purpose of the Upanishads. And that intensity has to be there, for which he will have to leave everything. That is why it is saying, Yameva isha vrinute tena labhya tasyaisha atma vivrinute tanum swam. One who embraces, varana means, as we do in marriage, we do mala, varana mala we put on our kava. Out of all the people, one we embrace as our partner. Like that, he has used that language, that one who chooses this Atma in preference to everything else, anything else in life. To him the Atma reveals its own truth. Tasyaisha Atma vivrinute tanum swam. He opens up his own body, is the language, but it means they've opened up its own truth. In Mundaka Upanishad, the second shloka also is like that. Nayamatma balahinena labhyaha nacha pramadat tapaso vapya lingat. This is important for that sannyasin's case. Nayamatma balahinena labhyaha. You may be very good, very honest, very virtuous person. Even then it is not for you. You need that Atma Bala, that it needs a great courage to renounce everything in the world. Otherwise you will not be able to do. You will still look for something from the world, some companion, some little comfort, some habitat, Something or other, it will, or some recognition, some appreciation. So actually it needs a tremendous courage to make everything, burn off everything as ash. It says, Jnanagni sarva karmani bhasmasat kurute. Huh? Bhasmasat kurute? Arjuna. Bhasmasat kurute, that it should burn all our desires, all our cravings for anything outside. So that is the bala it needs, the courage, the strength, the Atma strength. In Kenopanishad you will find Atmana vindate viryam. This virya, bala, virya, whatever you may say. It lies in our self. So when we don't want anything other than the self, I want and only that, then only that will give the courage. See, a truth about ourselves, often people discuss about it also. When we came, there was a lot of, in our life here, we had undergone extreme difficulty. But people say that, how did you survive? How did you cross through all that? We know the truth very well. Anybody will survive. We survived only because of our focus on the spiritual goal. Anything happening, we never bothered about it. The mind was focused on the spiritual goal. So whether the people around us are absolutely spitting at us also, we don't bother about it. Whether we are getting food or not, we don't bother about it. Whether we have to work from the late night to late night, we did not bother about it. It did not bother us. It's wrong to say we did not bother about it. It did not bother us. We were not disturbed by anything because the mind was always focused. Even the sadhana for which we thought that the full-scale sadhana, we will do wholesome sadhana. No time for sadhana. At that time, what we meant as sadhana, now we understand differently, but at that time, what we thought to be the sadhana, there was no time for it, but we did not bother about it. But that also did not bother us. So, it is the one-pointed dedication which will make us course through anything in life, anything happening. It will not bother us at all. So, nayam atma balahinena labhyaha nacha pramadat. Pramadat means lack of attention. Pramada means lack of attention. Tapaso vapi alingat. That we may do lot of tapas, but alingat means it is not properly directed, pointed for what we want. We want jnana. Is it not so? And we will say that I will stand on one leg throughout the day and I should become a knower. Suppose I say that I should stand in the sun, I will stand in the sun for 5 years on one leg without taking food, and after that I will become knower. I will become a knower. Is it possible? There are stories also we have told about the man sitting on the seaside that I have told earlier. So this is tapaso vapi alingat, that if we want jnana, you have to apply your buddhi. Whatever buddhi we have, I may be a dullard, but some buddhi is there. That has to be applied. That has to be sharpened. We cannot say that we will only chant and I will become a knower. It's impossible. Mantra means mananat trayate iti mantra. It is not just the sound will give you moksha. Trayate means will relieve you, will give you redemption. So only the mantra sound is not going to give you redemption. The mantra word we have to absorb in the mind. We have to completely be given to that. We have to surrender to the mantra, to the meaning of the mantra. So, tapaso vapi alingat means this Atma cannot be had unless we are focused on the purpose. That tapasya we are doing, the austerity we are doing, it has to be properly oriented, properly focused. It should have a linga, insignia, proper sin. Shankaracharya has said in another sense that without sannyasa, because he had to impress on sannyasa, that he had to fight out sannyasa because he was always fighting with the karma. That was the mission. So naturally, he interpreted that as without sannyasa. But sannyasa is true. Internal sannyasa is very true. But there he has mentioned the external sannyasa as a linga. That is also true. It's not wrong. Why did we take up sannyasa? Because it is necessary. Sannyasa means that why did we change our dress? Because it became necessary. Living in the ashram, even then when we would go with Swamiji, suppose I am going with Swamiji, Swamiji is dropped in one place, then I am alone in the car. A person in the car starts smoking. That means as long as I am not changing my dress to something religious dress or so, people will not regard, they will talk only useless things to us, not knowing what we are thinking, what is in our mind. They will only talk about their worldly things and all. So you have to change finally. Finally we were forced to change. Otherwise you will not be able to stay in this world. Acha. Then the fourth I have said. The fifth is, it is a corollary of this fourth. The fifth is that the Upanishad very specifically said that it is different from the known and also unknown. In the case of unknown, it says it is even surpassing the unknown. But the main fact is that it is different from known and unknown. Because it is the knower. Here it is not a question of the knower knowing something. This glass I know and the camera I don't know. It is the knower. So it is different from anything I know. It is different from anything I do not know also. Simple also, how many leaves are there in the tree I do not know. This is an unknown fact. But we can also say here that unknown, by unknown they meant the avyakta. That is vyakta and avyakta. Known means whatever has come to manifest, and avyakta means whatever has not manifest. That is the unknown. Unknown means it is unknown to everybody. But generally jnana means what? Jnana and ajnana, it can be divided into, for the knower means not the ultimate knower I am saying, ordinary as jnata. For the jnata there will be certain things known and certain things unknown. Because the knowables can be divided into two. Certain things are known, certain things are unknown. But it is not, we are not talking about objective jnana at all. The jnana and the knower, the jnata and the jnana are the same in this case. So it has to be different from unknown also. So this is the first chapter. There it stops. Now we will go to the second chapter. Achha, before that, I think today also there is a question. It is about this. So I will first talk about it. The question is, Swamiji, creation of the universe cannot be explained by causality. The whole universe is appearing in the consciousness, but everything in the universe is subject to causality. In dream, we see many things which cannot be subject. In dream, we see many things which cannot be subject to causality, but we know that our mind has only created it. And it is just an appearance in the mind. Hence, we do not have any doubt. But in the causeless universe, which is just appearing in the consciousness, everything is subject to causality. It becomes difficult to understand that causality is also appearing in the consciousness or in the causeless universe. It becomes difficult to understand that causality is appearing in the causeless universe. Consciousness means causeless universe. Please clarify. Now here, first of all, the dream example, I said that this causeless creation, very close example idea we can have from dream. Non-material srishti, because material srishti has to be causal, we can find out within the universe. But the dream will have its own causality. It's wrong to say that in dream we don't have causality. Dream has its dream causality. Dream has got its dream time, dream space, dream world with the dream causality also. In the dream, somebody is slapping you and you have the pain. In the dream, somebody is smiling at you and you are happy. In the dream, somebody is scolding at you and you are depressed. In the dream, somebody frightens you and you are scared so much that you get up from dream also. Everything is causally related. What I am saying is that ultimate cause of the universe, within the universe, everything is related by causality. But when we look for the cause of the universe, by definition it cannot be there. Why? We have to have a full faith in our buddhi and analysis. We lack that. That is why these things we are not convinced about this. When we are looking for a cause of the universe or looking for God also, is it not coming from our habit that because here everything is related by causality? Because right from birth we are finding everything is causal. So we are looking that the universe also must have a cause. Now if you take that argument, then whatever cause you get for the universe, you will look for the cause of that also. Whatever you get, again you will look for that cause also. So it shows very clearly that this causal logic cannot take us to absolute. It is not possible at all. We have to have the faith on this logic that we are given to, that this causality has come in our mind from the world we are interacting in. It is related by causality. But when we look for the ultimate cause, it is wrong to look for the ultimate cause. Now, suppose you say that the ultimate is a causeless cause. This is again an approximation. We are terminating our inquiry. Suppose we say that as we say Brahma is Swayambhu. Why do you say Brahma is Swayambhu? It is also to console us. That because we cannot go take this causality to any level and we don't get anywhere, anavastha dosha, nowhere we can reach. So we are saying that the Brahma has created this world. Naturally the question will be, who has created Brahma? Can you truncate the question there? Are you not getting? So naturally we have said, no, Brahma is Swayambhu. That means he has come of himself. This is only to truncate. And people will be happy with that. But if you are a real thinker, then you have to exhaust all your arguments till you become satisfied with your buddhi, with your analysis. So there you have to accept that this causality, if you take, there cannot be any cause like that, because if you take it to that, you don't reach anywhere at all. Now, if you say that consciousness is the cause of the whole universe, if you say, then naturally we'll look for the cause of the consciousness. Now this entire causality we are looking because of the same trouble again. Our vision is restricted to the objectude. That we are trying to analyze the universe thinking it is all object and the cause also should be an object. But other than the object, what do we have? We have the consciousness in which the whole universe is revealed. Even if we take analyze our perception also, the whole universe we are interacting with, we are seeing is only an appearance in our consciousness. So, a causeless cause, when we say, actually it is not causing the universe also. Because once you say that it is not the cause of the universe, but you say that it has caused the universe, again you are flouting the logic. By that you are relating consciousness by causality again. Then again you will look for the cause of consciousness. So anything that does not have cause cannot cause the universe also. It is not a material srishti, because even the consciousness cannot cause the universe. It is not related by causality. It is beyond causality. That is why they say it is vivatta srishti. That vivatta bhada has come from there. Vivatta srishti. It is not parinama srishti. It is not a material creation, that the universe is made with some other material. No. It is a vivatta srishti. That is, in the consciousness, the whole universe is appearing to be. It's just an appearance. From that, all this degeneration has, misunderstood Maya and all those concepts have come. It is not at all like that. But the fact is this. But can you imagine that thousands and thousands of years ago, our people have thought this logic in Kenopanishad? What is Nachiketa's question? Anyatra dharmad, anyatra adharmad, anyatra asmat krita kritat, anyatra bhutacha bhavyacha yattat pashyasi tadvada. Which is beyond causality. Anyatra, dharma and adharma, all those are there. Beyond time, bhutacha bhavyacha. Anyatra asmat krita kritat, which is beyond the causality. So they had not analyzed with the object so much. Whatever they did, they understood that this, by this simple devotion to this logic, they understood that this objective analysis, if at all there is any absolute truth or ultimate reality, we will not get by the objective analysis of causality. So they started looking inward. This is clearly stated in the first two verses of Shvetashvatara. Again, I will take some day. That they analyzed like this and they found that they are not getting any reply from there. No solution to that. Then Dhyana Yoga. They took to meditation and discovered what? Devatma Shaktim Swagunair Nigudha. That we will check up another day. So, with that, the greatest miracle appeared, that in material srishti, always, whenever there is an effect produced, the cause undergoes a change. There is no effect produced without any change in the cause. And it is related to time also. Whatever is preceding in time, we are calling that the cause. Whatever is following in time, we are calling that the effect. So it is all interrelated. But in this case, in the creation of the universe, the source does not undergo any change at all. Such huge universe, so unimaginable activity and all these things are happening. But the consciousness doesn't undergo any change in that. As the mind or the consciousness does not undergo any change when we are producing some dreams with dream world, huge and all. That example is necessary only to see that it is so. समझा नहीं कुछ? और क्या समझाएंगे? It should give us great clue also, because this dream question has come. See, in dream, suppose you are extremely disturbed. The moment you get up, you say that no, it was dream. So you are immediately freed of that. There will be some nervous vibration and all that. But your mind will immediately become all right. So we should focus that the mind has the power to become all right in where it was troubled. In dream, the mind was tremendously troubled. I always used to see in dream that gone to the examination room without anything and not able to so much of fearful, because I did not like examinations at all. Or something I am feeling like what do you call the passing stool, and there is no toilet anywhere. That also is a constant dream I have always, looking for this, that, no, where there is a space. Actually, the pressure is there, so when the sleep will break, then I will go to the washroom. So, but the fact is that all this trouble the mind was hosting, that same mind within a matter of moment becomes relaxed. So can we not work on the same mind in the real life trouble also? The mind has the capacity to become immediately relaxed. In being at the center of calamity also, calamitous condition also, the mind can become. How? By accepting whatever has happened. Say that stress of the mind is coming because of the non-acceptance, not because of the situation. Suppose we have lost everything, lost job, lost family, lost money, everything. I am standing on the street. It has already happened. By repeatedly refusing to accept it, what is gain? There's no gain at all. But the moment we accept that, ठीक है, हो गया है, ठीक है, फिर हम कोशिश करेंगे होगा, you will find immediately you are becoming all right. Mind has that capacity. You have to only operate the acceptance switch, internal switch. Just accept it. Those who take to sannyasa, they are happiest in the same condition, leaving money, leaving property, leaving household people, everybody. They stand on the street and become the happiest in that condition. How? It is the same situation in the two cases. One has not wanted deliberately, but not able to bear. Another deliberately wanted, so he is very happy in that condition. So it's all to do with the mind. So the mind has got whatever the situation. The dream also can tell us that the mind has got great power to create and uncreate and do anything it likes. It has got the power of, godly power of consciousness. As the whole universe is created, it can also create its own world. So it is, there is nothing wrong in finding the causality in the causeless universe. Causeless universe is the ultimate level, it is causeless. But causality is a property of the universe which is created. If it had been created without any causality, then we would not have raised these points, we would not have looked for God, even looked for Vedanta also perhaps. Because cause and effect chain would not work in our mind. I think that is enough here. Huh? More question, it's almost. Till we become self-realized, is it not the self unknown too? Even if you become self-realized, the self will remain unknown too. That is what the Upanishads is saying. So, how can it be different from unknown? It is different from known, different from unknown. They have already said it will remain unknown in the sense that even if you know the self, it is not knowing in the usual sense that there is a glass and you know that there is a glass. You will never know the self like that. You will find that whatever I was, I am, I will be, there was nothing called bondage, nothing called this, that is it. But whether that is called self-realization and all that also, disputable. What is self-realization? So, till we become self-realized, is it not the self unknown too? Self can never be unknown because it is different from the unknown. This is the right answer. The initially I just said. The real answer is self can never be unknown because it is not anything knowable as an objective knowledge. That the knower will know, the self cannot be known like that. Self is what the knower is. Here the jnana and jnata are the same. That is how it is different from unknown. So the self, initially we think that it is unknown. Now you come to the real problem. As long as we are seekers, we consider the self to be something to be known as different from me. So we think the self to be unknown. And that is the trouble. Because self is what I am. How can it be unknown forever? Without that I, you cannot do anything at all. Do you mean to say you don't know you? Only you don't know your real dimension, that's all. You have not realized your real dimension. So that thinking the self to be unknown itself is an obstacle or a delusion in the sadhana. It should not be considered as unknown. We should know that according to the Purvesham Acharyanam, as they have said from their words, that it has to be known as different from known and different from unknown. That means it can only be the knower. So how to know the knower? Let us try to know the knower. You cannot know the knower as different from you, because knower is what you are. So stop trying to know anything, then the self will reveal. When we stop trying to know anything, in Ashtavakra there is a verse, you will not know as long as you don't forget everything. Everything, including the whole world, including your own personality also. Shall we go to the next chapter? Then we just start. I was having some discussion with a seeker that is also related to this, since these questions have come. She was saying that whatever she does, somehow she is not happy with her work. That she wants to do very perfect job, excellent job, puts her all effort, tries to do it perfectly. But something goes wrong, something she misses, and she gets irritated about it. She is not able to be happy about the production, etc. So what is the reason? So I said that is the ego. How the ego is coming? Because I am a perfectionist. I would like to do this extremely well. And I am trying to do that extremely well. This I am doing the work and I will do it like this. I will do this way. This is creating a pressure in our whole system that our instruments are not able to function freely. Suppose in doing it also, some people will think that they have an idea about, not this case, I am saying generally in many cases we'll have many different shades, that those who are very intelligent, they have ego about their intelligence and they think that they cannot make a mistake. Do you get it? So when they work, that becomes a great pressure that buddhi will not be able to really work fully. They may think that I am very intelligent and I should not make any mistake, I cannot make any mistake. But this I created with the buddhi makes the buddhi stressed. And the buddhi's full application will not be there unless it is free of the stress. All the instruments that we have, unless they have that freedom, they are all relaxed and free, they will not be working at their optimum level, their maximum efficiency. They will not be able to. And there will be depression, there will be other problems, there will be dukkha, everything will be there. Because we are looking for again the result. That by doing it, I am producing some result with which I will be happy. It is same as Bhagavad Gita, everything becomes same. If we take one case also. It is the phalakanksha, that the result of the work, by the result, I will do it so perfectly that doing it, I will become happy. But actually, I can happily do it, not becoming happy only by the result. But when we are doing with the free instruments, that is with the freedom, no stress, nothing, then we will be happily doing, and that will produce the best result. Now, here what is happening? We are identifying our I with the buddhi, with the mind, with our other things also. It could be various other kinds of work with the instruments, whatever we are working. I mean, the hands and everything. This identity, this with this personality of the various faculties of the personality is what this Kenopanishad first chapter is wanting to take out, take away. That this is not the I. The I is something higher, subtle, and behind, which is the source of all these things. You surrender to that I. You try to get absorbed in that Atma. That is the higher motivating force for everything. Then all the instruments will function independently in their own manner, with lot of freedom, and it will be so joyous. You will not have any difficulty during the work also. Does it mean? Are you able to understand? So it is not just a few shlokas, philosophical shlokas. We should be able to apply them. That is what they are trying to do. That no, it is not the mind, it is not the prana, it is not the buddhi. Here mind includes buddhi also. So you identify yourself with the universal self on which the whole nature is functioning. And it is also empowering your body, mind, personality also. And remaining there, getting all the anchorage there, the body mind will function, do whatever it has to do, and that will be the optimum performance. Not only that, you will do everything joyously without any stress. Maybe sometimes there will be failure also. How does it matter? That is the optimum performance. समझे? क्या हुआ? और एक क्वेश्चन आ गया. Swamiji, I have seen a dream in which I saw an ocean within an aeroplane. Ocean within an aeroplane. That is why I asked this question. Are you can ask any question. Why are you worrying? I will criticize something or other. The ocean can be there in the aeroplane. Who said that the ocean cannot be there in the aeroplane? Aeroplane can be so big. But you cannot say that there is no causality. You have to tell me about the whole dream, then I will say how the causality is linked there. I will just read one, no, 9 o'clock. अच्छा, एक तो पढ़ लेते हैं. Second chapter. यदि मन्यसे सुवेदेति
यदि मन्यसे सुवेदेति
दभ्रमेवापि. No, what is the meter? Nunam tvam vetha brahmano yadi manyase suvedeti dabhramevapi.
यदि मन्यसे सुवेदेति दभ्रमेवापि
नूनं त्वं वेत्थ ब्रह्मणो रूपम्.
नूनं त्वं वेत्थ ब्रह्मणो रूपम्
यदि मन्यसे सुवेदेति दभ्रमेवापि.
यदि मन्यसे सुवेदेति दभ्रमेवापि
नूनं त्वं वेत्थ ब्रह्मणो रूपम्.
नूनं त्वं वेत्थ ब्रह्मणो रूपम्
यदस्य त्वं यदस्य देवेष्वथनु.
यदस्य त्वं स्य देवेष्वथनु
मीमांस्यमेव ते मन्ये विदितम्.
मीमांस्यमेव ते मन्ये विदितम्.
Arey, how it is? It is in the Samaveda. There is no meter coming. Huh? Dabhramevapi, another place it is Daharamevapi, both are correct. Both are correct. Dabhramevapi is more common. Both meaning also same. It means Alpam. But the meter should be there, some no? May not be there also. We can cut the Dabhramevapi. Let us see how it sounds. Yadi manyase suvedeti.
यदि मन्यसे सुवेदेति
Dabhramevapi.
दभ्रमेवापि
Nunam tvam vetha brahmano rupam.
नूनं त्वं वेत्थ ब्रह्मणो रूपम्
Yadasya tvam.
यदस्य त्वं
Yadasya deveshvathanu.
यदस्य देवेष्वथनु
Mimamsyamevate.
मीमांस्यमेव ते
Manye viditam.
मन्ये विदितम्.
The meter I don't know actually. How to get it I don't know. Let us see. So here write the Anvaya. We have to supply quite a lot of words here. So attentively write. Yadi manyase suveda iti. Manyase means it is Madhyama Purusha. So naturally the Guru is telling the disciple that if you think, Manyase means if you think, Yadi Manyase, if you think that Aham Brahma Suveda iti. I know Brahman very well. I know very well. That Suveda iti is sufficient. Actually, Aham Suveda iti. That we have to know from the Suveda is the verb. It is for Uttama Purusha. So it is actually Aham Suveda iti. Yadi Manyase means Tvam Yadi Manyase. If you think that I know it well. Aham Suveda iti. So actually what is there is only Yadi Manyase Suveda iti. Comma. Noonam. Noonam. Here noonam means definitely. Certainly. Noonam Tvam Brahmanaha Rupam. Tvam Brahmanaha Rupam. Brahmanaha is Shashti. That is Brahma ka Roop. Brahman's Rupa. Within bracket you can put Swarupam. Why am I supplying? To bring your attention. Brahman doesn't have any Rupa. If there is a Rupa or Nama, then it becomes object again. Form means object. So when we are saying Brahmanaha Rupam, while reading it is struck our mind that Brahman cannot have any Rupa. So when you write Swarupam, that means what it is in itself. Swaswarupam, it is the self-revealing. So, Noonam Tvam Brahmanaha Rupam. Noonam means certainly Tvam, you, Brahmanaha Rupam, Brahma's Swarupa, Dabhrameva api Vetha. Vetha means Janishe. 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 And you, Madhyama Purusha. So it will be Janishe. You need not write that. Vetha is okay. Noonam means certainly Tvam, you, Brahmanaha Rupam, the Swarupam, Dabhram eva api Vetha. That it is very certain that what you are thinking about Brahman, your knowledge is very less, alpa. It has got again two meanings. There will be many places having 2-3 meanings, that we have to be careful. Alpa means your knowledge is insufficient. Your knowledge is very less. On the other hand, alpa means it is restricted, it is restrained. Brahman cannot be restrained. If your knowledge about Brahman is Alpam means you think Brahman to be something small as an object. You get it? Alpa in two ways. One is your knowledge is insufficient. Another is what you are thinking about Brahman is a formed small something. It is not the Brahman Swarupam. Full stop. Then, Tvam Asya Rupam. Asya means within bracket you can write Brahmanaha again. Asya means here Brahmanaha. Tvam Asya Rupam. Here only Yat is given. Actually, this Yat will be as it is in individual or in you. Another is Yat Deveshu. See, there is Yadasya twice. Yat Asya Tvam. Yad Asya here one means as you are knowing it, Brahman, in individual being or in yourself, either way. That is your Atma. What we think about our Atma is a small Atma. Our Atma is the Aham Atma, egoistic Atma. So, your Brahmana Rupam, that about the Brahman, whatever you have thought about, either about yourself or in Deveshu, means you are doing Upasana to some Deva also and you are considering that to be the ultimate truth. So whether it is in the idol, in the Deva, some power or something, it could be power also. The fact is that it is objective. That we should remember. It can be anything. In Deva means in an idol or in any power in nature, whatever you think, it is objective. It is object. And if you think in yourself also, it is your egoistic self, small self. That is limited by the body-mind personality. That is also objective. So your concept of the Brahman is limited. That is, you consider it to be yourself. You don't know your real self. So you are thinking the egoistic self to be yourself. It is body-mind associated with your body-mind. So it is Alpam. It is the Brahm. It is small. And if you think that it is associated with your Deva or what do you call that? Ishta. Where you are thinking, or anything, nature, power, that also is an object before you. So there also, it is Alpam, it is limited. So that part, the second part, we have to take from the first one. Tadapi Alpameva, Tadapi Dabhrameva. Tadapi Dabhrameva Vetha. I will again take it tomorrow.
Continuously बोल रहे हैं.
I will again take it up tomorrow. I am now. So both way it is a objective impression that you are thinking you have known the Brahman. So what is the conclusion? Guru is saying, Tasmat te viditam mimamsyam. Mimamsyam means vicharyam. That means whatever you have known, that has to be further analyzed and inspected and investigated. Your knowledge is not complete. It is some objective knowledge. It's a knowledge of Brahman as an object. So it needs further analysis. Here the Guru's statement stops. Mimamsyameva te. Here it stops. That your knowledge is Vicharyam, it has to be further analyzed. Then the Shishya goes and he thinks, that is Shankaracharya is adding to that the Shishya goes in isolation, he thinks and goes into his contemplation, thinks a lot, and then he comes back and says that Aham manye viditam. I think I know Brahman. And further, what he says will go to the next verse. Now, here it is from Samaveda. So, Chandogya is also from here. So, naturally, the Chandogya stories will come here. That Virochana and Indra, Both were well born with lot of virtues and all. But Virochana was born to the demons and Indra was born to the Devas. And both of them came to Brahma for instruction. So Brahma said that this is what Brahman is. Both of them went away and after some time came back, said that we have understood. What is it? Now this body is Brahman. He sent back again. After 36 years, this is for first 36 years I think. Then again they come back and they say that, oh, now this mind is Brahman. Like that. They are not understanding, it goes on 3 times or so. Finally, Indra understands, but because Virochana was demonical, he had Rajoguna and Tamoguna too much, he did not have Sattvaguna. See, finally he went away with the idea that this body is Brahman. Often that such obstinate Shishyas are there who will tell the Guru that, no, you have not understood. I have understood, this is it. And they will walk off. One Shishya came to Swamiji and wanted to stay in the ashram permanently. Swamiji is repeatedly saying, you have never been able to stay with anybody, you have fought with your colleagues, you have fought with your students, you are not harmonious in your home, nobody likes you, the wife doesn't like you, the son doesn't like you, always you have been troublemaker. You will not be, how can you stay in the ashram? Here you will not be able to stay even for a few days. I tell you, you have a plot in Devghar, you go there, make a small cottage, you do your tapasya there, you don't have to come to the ashram for doing the tapasya, you do your tapasya. No, Swamiji, I am so devoted to you, हम आपको तन मन धन सब कुछ दे दिया है, हम यहीं पे रह जाएंगे आपके चरण में, I will stay on your feet because I have given everything to you, my all body, mind, money, everything I have surrendered to you, I would stay only here. Oh, 3 बार 4 बार 3-4 times Swamiji told him. He will not listen. No, I have dedicated everything to you, I will stay here. The Guru is saying that you go there and do tapasya. He is not accepting that also. And saying, I have given you my body, mind, personal time, dedicated everything to you. Tan man dhan de diya hai. And do you understand the fallacy? What has he surrendered? Nothing. Even this obstinacy he is not able to surrender. Guru's first instruction, he has never come to Guru, but suddenly arrived. So it will be like that only. So Virochana like Shishyas are there. So Virochana went back with the body as the Brahman. And he thought, I am a self-knower, I have known the body is myself. But Indra understood finally. But here it is not that. Here the Shishya is saying is not out of ego or anything. He understands and then he is coming and saying. That will be clear from the next verse, which we will take up on Monday. It is not out of lack of humility he is saying. He is very humbly reporting after doing the proper introspection. And he will corroborate also that as the Purvesham said that I also feel that not that I know fully well, in the second they will say that not that I know it very well, also I cannot say that I don't know it. Then the Shruti will say that when anybody feels like that, he knows. The others, those who feel that I have known, they don't know. So all these things will come. Om. What is that? Apyayantu mamangani.
Apyayantu mamangani.
Vak pranashchakshushrotramatho.
Vak pranashchakshushrotramatho.
Balamindriyani cha sarvani.
Balamindriyani cha sarvani.
Sarvam Brahma Upanishadam.
Sarvam Brahma Upanishadam.
Maham Brahma Nirakuryam.
Maham ब्रह्म निराकुर्याम्
मा ब्रह्म निराकरोद निराकरणमस्तु
मा ब्रह्म निराकरोद निराकरणमस्तु
अनिराकरणं मेस्तु
अनिराकरणं मेस्तु
तदात्मनि निरतेय उपनिषत्सु
तदात्मनि निरतेय उपनिषत्सु
धर्मास्ते मयि सन्तु ते मयि सन्तु
धर्मास्ते मयि सन्तु ते मयि सन्तु
ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः
ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः
ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः
ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः